Coach, what up? Coach Holcomb, we're sitting in here in the field house. We're going to be on an abbreviated show today.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and knock it out early in the week and get it over with because you got a lot of work at the playoffs right here in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Still working towards. But last week took on Gadsden City. Tough game here at home. You guys did come up on the short end of the stick, but just kind of take us back to last Friday and how it transpired.
Yeah, I mean, credit to them. I would like to see what the game looks like if we don't spot them 22 early in the first quarter. We were talking before, like we ran more offensive plays in the first half than they ran in the whole game.
That's insane.
And I felt like we had a good plan, especially offensively going into the game. And it's not that we didn't have a good plan. It was just I felt like kind of hindsight being what it is. Like we probably tried to overthink too much. Probably should have just gotten in our base stuff. We motioned and shifted a lot. We were a little worried about them getting in that two-backer bear with Ty kind of in there as a linebacker. But hindsight is hindsight's 20/20. I mean I would love to have the game back. And have a little different plan for them, special teams wise. Obviously, that hurt us. I mean, special teams hurt us early in the game and kind of continued through the first half, and so should have had a better plan there. But ultimately, they're a good football team. They're going to end up being they're going to host a playoff game, and so felt like we got their best shot, and credit to them. They were prepared to play the game, and we needed a better plan, especially on special teams, to try to find a way to give ourselves a chance not to lose the game. And so I really don't even know. We came in here at halftime, and I told the defense, I was like, I don't think we're playing that bad on defense. It looks like it. The score is 29-0, so it looks like we're playing bad on defense, and we really weren't. We really weren't playing bad on defense. They blocked the punt, scooped and scored. We threw a pick six that got tipped on a middle screen that was. If we go back, I would call it again. I would call the middle screen again. We had kind of the look that we wanted. It just got tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it got tipped to a guy who's going to be playing the SEC. That's one of those things that we couldn't. Once he caught it, we couldn't catch him. And then, they had another short field that was created by special teams, and they capitalized on every one of them. So credit to them.
That momentum in high school football is something else, and when it swings, man, it's tough.
Ain't no doubt.
Talk about that a little bit, especially when you got guys like you do, as a ton of young guys.
Yeah, I think when we went down, we got a little shell shock a little bit, but the thing about our kids that I was proud of is that we kept playing, we kept battling, we kept trying to find a way, we moved the ball. Offensively, defensively, I felt like we played tough. They hit us on a big shot, through the middle. That kid's good. We had a really good. They hit us over the top. And we got a holding call, and then we came back, and then they just kind of we had to wall and carry three, and the kid can run, that joker's good, and so the quarterback put a good ball on him, and they hit us on that one. Other than that,
they had Sean Curry.
Yeah. Other than that, they had one other drive where they just kind of drove the ball and scored, and then they didn't really have to do anything offensively after that, and so defense played tough. Offense drove the ball. We fumbled it late. But when you look at it, you get a punt block for a touchdown, you throw a pick six, you have a fumble, you muff a punt, you muff a kickoff return. You ain't winning no games. No matter who you play. You're just not winning games there.
You're looking at almost a 42-point swing right there. Or it led to.
We're not going to win. We're not going to win any of those games.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered who we played the other night. Credit to our kids for continuing to battle, because they did. We played for 4 quarters. Nobody quit. Guys were playing hard. And I think that is the thing here that we're always going to have. So I was proud of our guys for that. And I think that it was it was just it was a perfect storm, early, and then we just couldn't, we couldn't produce enough offense, where we could find a way to catch up when we're down 3 scores.
This one coming up is the biggest game of the season. I know every week's huge, but this one legit is huge. Talk about this one coming up versus Hazel Green.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked to our guys yesterday. Opportunity to still be in the playoffs is on the line right here. An opportunity for us to, continue this playoff streak that we've had going for the last 5 years, which is, a huge thing for us. I mean, again, you look at it, and I think it was, made the playoffs in 2020. And then 2021 was like the third time in the history of the school that had been like back-to-back playoff appearances, and never made 3 straight. And now you got this streak where it's been 5 straight going on 6. If we can find a way to win, I mean, that's, you definitely don't want to be the team that doesn't make it,
Correct.
Especially in 6A. And we know the cross is going to be tough, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, every game's tough when you get in the playoffs. You're playing quality football teams, And so, big game. Hazel Green's got a gritty bunch. Like, if you look at the record, it may look like, they're not as good as they are, but then you look at the scores and you watch the games that they played, like, they're always in it. Defense is tough. Offense don't make mistakes. They cover kicks well. Like, the thing that stuck out the most is, they were down. Fort Payne had them down, and they were kind of going through some turmoil. Fort Payne breaks a run kind of midway through the third, and the backside corner just takes off and is sprinting to try to tackle the ball, like, which is something that, in most teams it's 1-2 games, like, you don't see that a ton. Like, you don't see backside corners giving that kind of effort. I think that kind of stuck out to us offensively just as we were watching it, and so we're going to have our hands full with them. They're big up front. They're big up front. I mean, their linebackers can run, and they're big. Their secondaries can cover, offensively. They got a few weapons. Their offensive line's pretty good. The quarterback don't make mistakes. And so we're going to have to go over there, and we're going to have to travel to Huntsville, and, we're going to have to win the game. I don't think they're going to lose it.
Yeah, you want to take it from them.
Yeah, that's right.
One. Well, Coach, I know you got a lot going on, but before I get out of here, I always like to turn it back to you just for final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And also, I know it's a long way. I know going to Hazel Green's a long way. I know it's about 2 hours away. We did made the same trip, a couple weeks ago, and we looked up, and there just, there wasn't a lot of people. Like, you turn around, like, there wasn't a lot of people there, and you could feel it. The kids, made mention of it a few times, and so, obviously, if you ain't got nothing to do on Friday night, obviously our kids would the magnitude of this game and what a win Friday means for us, for these kids, and for the program, having as many people in the stands would be a huge help for them, for sure.
Absolutely. No, it means something to the guys.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
And I've seen this place right here, man. You guys, at more than maybe any team, juice matters with these cats.
Ain't no question.
And it has for years.
Ain't no question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, Coach, I appreciate you sitting in with us. Thank you.
Yes, sir.